Yo, what's good, people? Welcome to the channel. We're talking about music licensing, music production, and music business. If you love any of the previously mentioned, make sure to hit that bell icon and subscribe so you can stay up to date on all my latest content. I be trying to talk too fast. Shout out to everybody in the stream. Let me know where you guys are from. Let me know what you do. This is another episode of the Music is My Business podcast, where we talk about music and business and everything in between. Today I definitely have a couple things that I found interesting. There's been like between AI and like all of that stuff that's going on. I've been noticing interesting things. So I definitely want to talk about that. I also want to talk about another. It's sync related as well. I found it super duper interesting. I literally stayed up like an hour past my scheduled bedtime last night. Just my brain was just going. It was just like I was inspired. But shout out to MK1 Music. What's good, man? Hope all is well. Appreciate you coming through. Who else do we have, man? Let me know where you guys are from. We got Kevin Cheek in the building. Shout out to Team Dope. He's a channel member. Appreciate you, bro. North Carolina in the building. What's good, everyone? Happy hump day. It is hump day indeed. Kid Strange, what's good? Hope all is well. Yeah, it's crazy. It's Wednesday already. It feels like Tuesday because Monday. Did I work Monday? No, no, we didn't. I did. I worked a little. Or was that yesterday? I don't know, man. I worked the past couple days. Let's just say that. Akron in the building. Terrence Duncan, what's good? Musician, mad amateur producer. It's all good. NYC, peace. DRK, BXT. Good to see you. I hope y'all got questions because we definitely gonna dig into some questions as we go throughout this episode. But the first thing I want to talk about, like just off rip, is AI and how it's impacting like the sync space, micro sync space, and Patty P, what's good, Patty, and all of that stuff. So I noticed something interesting, right? So for those who don't know, one of the stock music libraries that I have music in is pond5.com. It's pond, the number 5.com. So pretty much it's just a site where you can upload music whenever you want. You do your own metadata, you do your own uploads. I think it's non-exclusive. I'm not sure if they have like an exclusive thing now, but spill the tea. I literally have tea right now. So I will definitely try not to spill that because that's hot, and this stream will end immediately if that spills on me. But so Pond 5, I have music on Pond 5. I haven't uploaded on the site in literally years. It's probably been like a couple or a few years. Kadan, what's good? G5, I see you. So I noticed something interesting. There was a random spike in payment that I received because with Pond 5, if you meet a threshold, you have to meet a threshold to be able to get the payout, right? So how the site works is you upload music, you set your prices. There's kind of like a minimum price that they have, but you set your prices, and, you know, content creators or like, you know, independent filmmakers, and even I've gotten a placement on Fox Business from some music that was licensed through Pond 5. So you got all types of clients coming to the site to license music. They just purchase a one-off license for that particular project, and then you get paid. Pond 5 takes a percentage, and then if it accumulates, you know, past, I don't know, $25-$50 or something like that, they'll pay you out. So that's what happened. So I got a payout. So I was like, yo, man, I ain't uploaded anything on that in a minute. So I was like, let me log in this joint and see what's going on. Matter of fact, let me see if I can pull it up and see if I have like details on what it looked like. Cause I was curious, like, because usually you'll get an email notification. Oh, you made a sale, blah, blah, blah. The only email notifications I've gotten from Pond 5 in the last year has been like nothing significant. Like I have I have like an orchestral hit sample on there that's like $1. I probably sell that thing more than anything, but I haven't been active. So, you know, it's one of those sites where like the more active you are, the more you're constantly uploading music, then, you know, obviously the more sales you'll get on there. But it hasn't been a focus of mine. I've been focusing on, you know, some of the other libraries that I work with. So let me log in. Let me see, man. So I got this payment. It was maybe, I don't have a large catalog on there. It was probably like 80, 85 bucks. In addition to the stuff that I had already licensed for, you know, that period or whatever. So I was just like 80 bucks. Like that's a little higher than what I normally get. So I was like, let me see what happened. Like what was that? So I looked, I did license one. I licensed one in December, January, February, March. I've been consistently doing one a month. So yeah, shouts to me for getting one sale a month on Pond 5. Still a great site though. I just don't focus on it. But then there was this extra one in April. This happened in April 12th. I got a payment of $62.66. I'm like, what is 62? I have nothing priced to license at $62.66 like cents specifically. So I was just like, what is that? So it says it says media, there's a $sign, because normally I wonder if I can't, I don't have it plugged up. But so normally in the media column, it'll say it'll have like a waveform of the media. This one didn't have a waveform. It just had a $sign. And then the name, it'll have like the name of the track. This one didn't have a name. It said additional revenue from and a red question mark. So instantly I'm confused. Like what does red question marks mean? Number one. And it's like what is this? So why is sometimes Apple continuity is like not just not what you want. So if you look on the red question mark, it says sometimes buyers upgrade their licenses after completing a purchase. This is the additional license revenue from one or more upgraded licenses. Right? So that's what it said. However, I got additional information. Was it on? Let me see. 2023. Let me change to 2023. Okay, so I went to like that was in the dashboard section. Then I went to the financials section. Like if you have a Pond 5 account, you'll know what I'm talking about. But there's a financials section, and then you go there, and it'll show you your sales report, right? So on this one, the name didn't say, you know, whatever additional revenue. It said data set earnings. So then I was like ultra confused. I'm like, okay, data set. The only reference to data set that I've been hearing about has to do with AI. So I was just like, I wonder if this is what I think it is. So after clicking on it, Pond 5 says, you may see the notation data set earnings on line items in the license section of your financials dashboard. These earnings apply to licensing activity for data sets, a new product offering that is aimed to support emerging technology companies looking for metadata associated with creative assets. So pretty much, if you don't know what that means, it's a product offering developed to support companies building AI, computer vision, and large language models. Sets of content metadata organized by a specific theme or topic that can include images. This is photos, illustrations, vectors, videos, music, sound effects, and 3D models. So pretty much this is the information that, you know, programmers are using, companies are using to train and program their AI. And they're paying companies, you know, whatever the fee is, to be able to access composers like humans, us, composers, metadata and, music and things like that, so that they can train the AI. So I was like, wow, that's and this is a conversation. What's up, Lamar? This is a conversation we had at one of the one of the topics that came up in one of the Production Music Association meetings that we had. I thought it was really interesting because like I guess there's pros and cons to that. With this one, it was kind of weird because number one, Pond 5 automatically just like opted us in. Like I don't know if they sent the email. Good. This tea finally cooled down. I literally burnt all my taste buds for the next week sipping that tea. It was way too hot. So yeah, it's kind of like good and bad. So Pond 5, I don't know if they sent out an email or not. I would have to like double check and confirm that, letting us know that they was just gonna like throw our music in there. Because some composers be like, yo, like don't send my stuff. I don't want to train it. Some are cool with it. But you can opt out, which is a good thing. I feel like the appropriate thing to do would be email the composers and then say, hey, this is another, opportunity to earn revenue from your music. If you want to opt in, then go here, opt in. I think that would have been more appropriate versus just automatically opting people in. And then they just find out once they get paid already from it that that your music was sold as a part of a data set. So I don't know what y'all think. And then the pros of it is, I mean, it's an opportunity to make money right now. And then, then you have that whole discussion. Well, like they're paying us this little bit of money. Are they going to train it to take over and all this other stuff that people freak out about? But I don't know. What do y'all think? I thought that was interesting. They're gonna Kid Strange says they're gonna AI your skills. Kadan, what's up? So they're paying you to use your music data. Yeah, exactly. What's up, Storm Joint? MK1 says I have a Pond 5 account that I don't use. Maybe I'll get back to that. But they have enough. They won't need us. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know how long that would last. Like, because I mean, music is always changing. The current sound of music is always changing. So, maybe there's something where like AI will constantly need to be fed updated current music to be able to keep up with the trends. So, or do you think it's just one of those things where it's like we're just in a time now where we're kind of transitioning to this whole automated AI creation space where they're just getting all the information they need now, and then at some point they're good. I don't know. Yes, we're doing this Q&A. Ty Keys, and then we'll do after this 9:30. We do music reviews. Feel like it's coming either way. Might as well embrace it, right? Yeah, 100%, man. Like, I feel like the people who, if you don't embrace it early, you don't figure out a way to leverage it. And that's like one of my top business priorities as just a businessman is I have 3. Number 1 is leverage. Like, I want to leverage as much technology, information, money, like whatever it is. Like, I'm trying to figure out how I can leverage it. So AI is leverage. Like, you can use that as leverage to get more time back to do more of what you do best, which for most of us is create music. So I definitely think you have to figure out a way to use it to your advantage and not be the victim. Like, there's just so many people play the victim. It's just like, oh, like like I'm not gonna have any work, or like it's gonna do. It's like, okay, I mean, it's not going anywhere. So are you gonna sit and cry that something replaced, something that obviously a computer could do? Or are you gonna find ways to develop your skills to where you're not as replaceable? But hey, Taki said, "Thank you for saying my name right. I don't know if this is your first time on the stream, but boy, you got lucky because I butcher everybody's name on this joint. You can ask some of the regulars. It took me at least 3 to 4 months just to pronounce Kadan's name right. Oh man, I think I butchered his the worst, man. I'm sorry. Though AI is moving fast at this point, AI music is still pretty bad. It is super trash. Like, let's just keep it 100. And that's why they paying companies to get, because they like, yo, this ain't as good as we thought it was gonna be. We still need humans to refine this, because yeah, some of the stuff I've heard has just been like, yo, what? It's like y'all just throwing stuff together and it just makes no sense whatsoever. It's just not even pleasant to listen to. But yeah, it's crazy. Only time will tell how AI will play a role in music and its effectiveness. Not gonna lie, I still avoid self-checkouts, but tech should be a tool that makes our overall life experiences better. Yeah, dude, at Walmart, you can't avoid it. Like, I think everything is, at least at our Walmart, it's all self-checkout. So now I take my son with me. I'm like, hey, bro, scan this on the scanner. But again, those are usually the first positions that go. The lowest level of value is implementation. So if you're like implementing like someone else's system, or you're like at the bottom of the system that needs to be implemented, 9 times out of 10, when new technology comes, you're gonna be the one on the chopping block. So that's why we have to operate at higher levels of value. Learn how to communicate, learn how to talk to people, learn how to give value to others, learn how to find a problem in the marketplace and create a solution for it. Because if you can do that, if you can develop the skill set of identifying a problem and creating a solution, you can't, like, how can you stop someone who literally creates solutions to problems? Like, that's all business is, just problem solving. So there's going to be a problem in regards to AI. There's going to be a problem with AI being used in sync, or there's always going to be a problem with anything new that comes out. You create something that solves a problem or a few problems, and it's going to create, 10, 20 more problems. So now you just got to pivot and figure out, okay, what are these problems going to be, and how can I use, what I know or the skills that I have to solve that problem. And you'll be good. What's up, the beat guy? Finally caught alive. Good to have you, man. Clint's name butchering is of epic proportions. Extremely epic. Like, it gets really, really bad. Like, because you can't, like, I can't, like, hear y'all. So it's like, it's just words. And then, people, I've had people in the chat just like chopping the, the syllables and stuff up. And, oh man, it's gotten intense a few times. So, yeah. That Drake and Weekend joint was fire. I heard a King Von AI that was fire too. Man, there's some things out there, but yeah, man. Overall, I think, right now, like, a publishers, they're just not specifically for like the TV film space that we work in. Like, they not about to trust that. Like, especially if you got a custom project for a brand, they not about to hit up some AI site and it's custom, dude. They gonna have, listen, me as a human will have a pile of revisions working with a company. And so I can only imagine the frustration they would deal with trying to 100% use AI right now to do some custom stuff. But DRK says, I believe a real Picasso will always be worth more than a fake one. Facts. The price for real music may actually go up. Yo, that's something to think about. That is something to think about. BRO or B-row. It might be B-row. There's a space between the B and the R, so I don't think it's bro. So we're just going to go with B-row. Yes, tonight at 9:30 Eastern time, we will be reviewing music to see if it's ready for TV and film. So it's gonna be lit, and I'm excited. Alavon, I got another interesting thing that I was inspired by last night. Alavon Major, that new SSL controller is clutch. Listen, it is clutch. Let's talk about SSL. I feel like they, as far as a company that has the legacy that they have when it comes to analog hardware, in gear, in studio, just long history, right? I feel like they have done a marvelous job in bridging the gap between the high-end pro user of like an actual SSL board and the, home studio producer who may also be professional or not, may just be an expensive hobby. But I feel like they've done a great job at balancing those two, because all of the hardware that they release, I have the SSL 2 Plus audio interface, and I love it. I love it because it's simple. Like, it's straight to the point. The big knob controls the volume. The little red knobs control the gain for the mic. The other great knobs control headphones. Like, it's not complicated. You turn the knob and it turns stuff up. Like, there's not a bunch of crazy interfaces and additional software that you got to run to be able to get the interface to work. You turn your computer on and it's on. It works. Some of these interfaces just like, y'all make life too complicated sometimes. But I think SSL does a great job at balancing those two. They got into the plug-in space, so now we got plug-ins and emulations of, the actual hardware boards. And then they started creating hardware to be able to control the software plugin, so that you kind of still get like the best of both worlds. Like, you kind of get the feel of and the arrangement of an SSL board. Like, if you've ever, sat in front of an SSL board, like, you kind of get a similar layout for like channel strips and stuff like that, with all your stuff being in the box and not having like a big old massive board in your house, a big expensive one at that. So I think they've done a great job at doing that. But yes, I ordered one. I'm waiting for that joint to ship. Shout out to Sweetwater, they be on it. I'm actually getting rid of. I had a Clarity M stereo for my metering and stuff like that. Got rid of that. Got rid of my Loop Deck CT, which I think is a really dope looking device, and I think it's super dope. In concept, but like, I could not fully integrate it into my workflow. Like, I would always just go back to like keyboard and mouse, or keyboard, mouse, and the transport controls on my Complete Control keyboard. So like, the reason why I got rid of those, because again, I use the metering, the Clarity, that's great, But the SSL UF1 has all of those meters built right into the controller, the UF1. So I'm like, I don't need this. Get rid of that. And then, you know, as far as like I had issues with and I mean they did some software updates on the loop deck that made it smoother, but it's so much, man. When you have a device that does can do everything in so many different apps, you lose something. Like, I don't know what it is, but you just lose purpose. Like, I feel like the loop deck CT specifically, not, I haven't used any of the other devices, but the CT is so customizable that it just has, like, what's its true purpose? It's hard to find the loop deck CT's true purpose, because I've used it in Final Cut, I've used it in Logic, you can use it, I use it for Zoom, but you know, when I'm using it in Final Cut, the jog wheel skips like 58 frames just at once, and it's like, yo, like, I go back to the keyboard every time because it's super annoying. Or it's just, I've adjusted it, but then it was just too slow. So I was like, you know what? I think I'm just not using it. So getting rid of those. I got the SSL UF1, should be here by the end of the week. I'll probably do some type of video on it, unboxing or something. Type in the chat if you want to see an unboxing of SSL's new UF1. But I do have one. My only concern is I just hope it fits on my desk, especially when I have my keyboard on there, because I don't want to have to get a new desk. But yeah, man, I think they've just been doing a dope job at balancing those two. Data Boy, what's good? Data Boy shared some heat last week. The coloration buttered from the board though, but yeah, they got they got plugins for that now. I've been lucky enough to mix on the SSL 4K and 9K, both awesome. Yeah, agreed. Did I miss your video streaming platform that you use? No. I use Ecamm Live. What's good, Amaria? Bus compressor. I feel like I downloaded I feel like I caught a sale on an SSL plugin, but I was busy, and like I feel like I never downloaded or I never installed it. I gotta double check that. Because I think it was the bus compressor. I was like, well, let me add that. Because I got quite a few, so you'll see. I don't know. Somebody just told me to give myself a DJ horn. I don't know. What did I do? Michael says I'm 2 for 2. I don't know what I did. I'm gonna have to scroll through the comments. I pronounced the name right. B-roll. I'm 2 for 2. Yes, that definitely deserves a DJ horn. This is historic. 2 names right, back to back. Unboxing. Do you use the 360 software? I'll install it once I get the UF1. So I'm gonna get the UF1, and they have, what is it? The UF8? So they have that. I don't think I really need that. If I get anything else after the UF1, it'll be the UC1. I think I'll get that. Just to have, you know, just that physical touch of the plugins. But I know if I get that, yeah, man, I'm gonna have to do something. Or maybe I still have my keyboard stand. Maybe I'll just put the keyboard on the stand when I use it, and then just keep the boards on the desk. So yeah. Kadan says, what else you getting rid of? That's about it, man. Those are the 2 main things. Cause again, like I like my stuff to be simple and straight to the point. So I just don't, you know, if I'm not using it, man, I'll sell it, get rid of it or something. But that's about it right now. Um, until I decide to, you know, to upgrade something else. What's good, World Meta Beats? What's up, Radical Wholeness? What other questions do you have? Do you resend to supervisors that gave you good feedback and like listen to your music even though they didn't pick up your tracks you sent? Absolutely. Absolutely. I just got a no the other day, and I want y'all to know, like, hearing no is a normal part of this game. Even if you get placements, like, you're still gonna hear no, so get used to that. But I submitted something for an opportunity, and it was like no, because it's not what they were exactly looking for the type of clients that they were serving, right? So, but I got good feedback on the track. They was just like, we feel like it'll do well in other situations. So that's like, you'll hear that. And I'm definitely going to submit something to them again in the future. But now with that feedback, it's like, okay, now I make a mental note, or I'll jot it down on a physical note so I don't forget. I'll make a mental note. Okay, they're looking for this, specifically for their clients. And then I'll know, okay, next time I submit for a brief like this, to kind of have that direction in mind, so that, because you don't want to waste anybody's time. But so once they let you know, like, okay, this is not something we need right now, or this is great, but our current needs just don't align. So yeah, I'll definitely resubmit. Yeah, and you just keep going, man. Submit and forget. Create, submit, forget. That's the process. Directions to submit music will be on the stream video, on the channel. Jay Elliott, looks good. That's what you use to share screen with participants too. I was impressed, and I'll look into that for my Star Wars podcast. Shout out to Star Wars. I got a Star Wars cup over there. But yeah, yep. When guests come on, we're using Ecamm. I love it. Smooth, really dope software, and the latest version that they have, it has some really cool features. So yeah, I love it. I do everything through Ecamm, like tutorials. Like if you've ever seen any of my IG, tutorials where I'm breaking down placements and Logic tips and stuff like that, it's all been done on Ecamm. makes life a lot easier. Radical Wholeness says, question: I've purchased your royalties and placements, inquired to a library, and they said no composer style cues. Can you tell me what they mean by that, please and thank you? No, I have no idea what that means. Like, if anybody has ever heard that, let me know, because I've never heard that personally. No composer style cues. I don't know. Like, I would ask for clarification. That's what I would do. Anytime you don't understand anything that came from a library, ask that library who said that to clarify. They should be able to clarify that. I would say, what exactly do you mean by compose, or what do you interpret composer style as? That's what I would ask, because I don't know if they're talking about like piano and string arrangements that, like composition, like scoring to picture kind of scores, or cues or whatever. So yeah, I would ask for clarification, because that phrase is confusing. Is your Road to 10 placement good for future publisher to lean sync? It's good for future publisher to learn sync. So you're trying to be a publisher and you want to learn about sync. So my Road to 10 Placements course, the focus is on producers, right? So yes, you get information, but it's going to be from a producer's perspective, not a publisher's perspective. So if you're trying to learn how to be a publisher in sync, then the Road to 10 Placements course may not be for you. It's more so geared towards producers who want to learn how to, produce placement ready music, learn how to prepare their music, prepare stems and things like that. And, how to pitch it and what that process looks like to be able to, get licensing deals and placements and things like that without having connections and things like that. So, yeah, may not be a good fit if you want to learn the publishing side of sync. What is the biggest obstacle, do you think, when you start sync as a producer, or what would be your advice for yourself if you restart your career at zero? Boom. If I restarted at zero, I would do exactly what I did in the Road to 10 Plays. That's why I created the Road to 10 Plays. So I was like, yo, if I lost all of my licensing deals and just had to start from scratch, I want to be able to document this and put everything in here. So if I was starting from scratch, starting from zero, I will be able to go through the Road to 10 Placements and start getting licensing deals and TV placements and, movie placements from scratch. That's why I put so much into that course and updating it. And, anytime I've learned something new, even now, I'll try and throw it in there. But I think the biggest obstacle, to answer the first part of your question, is, I reached a point where I knew where music was supposed to go. I knew about music libraries. I knew about sync licensing companies, sync agents. I knew that stuff. Like, I knew how to find them. What I didn't know was what they look for in placement ready music. Like, how do they like music structured? If y'all see me randomly clap my hands, because I'm trying to kill this gnat that I've been seeing fly around for like the past hour. So don't be afraid or think I'm like spazzing out like I'm trying to get this gnat. But so it was the structure thing, man, because I was still in like full record mode where, I had elaborate intros. I had bridges doing key changes and modulations and, man, all types of stuff, man. But like, what I learned was, number one, you don't even need a bridge. Cut this joint down to like 2 minutes and you're good. You can even do a minute and a half for like instrumental stuff. I think the last song I produced was like 1:45. So that was the biggest hurdle, man. Like, learning and finding a structure that worked. Once I found that, I started to see an increase in my placement. So I was just like, okay, bet. Like, whatever I did to get these first 10 TV placements, I'm going to start doing that every time I create a track. I may modify it every now and then, but this is going to be like the go-to format for me. And then it just kept working. So I'm like, bet. Repeatable process, repeatable results. I say it all the time. So that was the biggest thing. That, and then learning that it's not necessarily like you're in sync to serve. Like, it's not necessarily about what you feel like making all the time. Sometimes you can make what you want to make. But then sometimes it's literally just, read the brief. This is what they want. You can decide to make it or not. So once I kind of shifted that, and it was like, okay, I'm going to make what is being placed a lot. I'm going to make what I'm hearing on TV all the time. I'm going to make what I'm hearing in movies and commercials, but I'm just going to do it my way. I'm going to put my own spin on it, twist on it, and kind of go from there. So that's what I would say. Learn a good structure. learn the process, learn what, editors love, learn what works already in TV. The clues are there. Success leaves clues around. So all the music you hear on TV, it's been placed. You know what I mean? There's a playlist. If you go to clintproductions.com/link in bio, I have a playlist of some music that I've placed or that I've gotten placed. And you can hear like some of that stuff to hear examples of music that's been placed before on various different shows. So check that out when you get a chance. Hopefully that'll help you. Kid Strange said, I've learned emailing can be tricky if it's a more personal library. I was told by dude to make it more personal and not just a short email and then just want a quick music drop. Yeah. Sometimes, especially for like the boutique libraries, you reach out to an individual, you may want to be a little bit more personal. That's why it's good to kind of research the company first before reaching out. Spend that time on their website. Is it a person that's going to see this directly? And then just kind of go from there. So, all right, last thing I wanted that I found super interesting. So I watched the movie. How do I want to set this up? All right. Okay, let's talk about how powerful sync is. So everybody in here, I'm assuming, knows the super popular theme song from Beverly Hills Cop. Dun, 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 dun. That was horrible. But anyways, everybody knows that, right? If you don't, go watch Beverly Hills Cop. You won't be able to get it out of your head. It's like in every Beverly Hills Cop. So that movie came out in like 1984. That was an instrumental produced by this, I think he was a German musician. His name was Harold Faltermeyer. And that was like the theme of Beverly Hills Cop. It's just an instrumental. So crazy thing is that joint hit number 1 in Ireland and the US the following year. So 1985, the joint went number 1. Like a theme song for a movie went number 1 on a Billboard chart in the US and went number 1 in Ireland. It's crazy. Same thing happened with a song in Stranger Things. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. Same thing happened. Like the joint shot up the charts. It was crazy because of one use in Stranger Things. Get this. So that was 1984, right? That was the theme song. Last night I was watching the movie Air. The movie Air on Prime Video. It's talking about how how the Air Jordan came about, J's, Jordans, how they came about. They played that song in that movie. It's 2023, y'all. Like it's what is that? 2020. It's like 40 years later. They played it in the movie that just came out, Air. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's kind of cool. It's always weird when they, it's like, I get the star of the show wasn't Michael Jordan, obviously, but it's always weird when they replace like a huge character like that and they just like, he doesn't say anything. But they use that, and they used it a couple times. Like it was kind of theme-ish, but they had a lot of different, like the whole movie was low key nostalgic. Like it just, you got the Air Jordan 1, you got all this music that was popular during that time. So it was kind of dope. But to hear that song again 40 years later, getting synced, my guy Harold, I don't know if he's still alive or not, but he got paid again for that joint to be synced however many times they used it in that movie. Because every spot is like, that's a sync. It's like a separate sync, separate scene, sync fees, like depending on how they structured the deal. I don't know if they just lumped it all together, but usually those are separate syncs. So that just showed me, and I was just up thinking about it, like, yo, that's crazy. Like it just really seems like music doesn't get old in sync. Like, I mean, it's just like you could create something today, and yeah, it'll get placed or whatever. Say it gets placed. There's no telling what can happen with that joint. You know, 40 years later, 20, 30, 40, 50 years later, like, so yeah, Austin Powers movie, the theme song that Quincy Jones produced, that became the theme song for that movie. He did that years ago. Before that joint was like the theme for that movie. So, you know, everything you create has the potential to earn like forever, like way past your life. So, you know, keep that in mind when you're creating, and just, I don't know, think about the possibilities. I'm sure Harold was not thinking 2023 they're gonna come out with a movie about Air Jordans, and you know they're gonna want to use this. I'm positive he wasn't thinking about that. So it's crazy. What's up, Dariano? Good to see you. So yeah. I'm still in the almost 3-minute phase. Oh yeah, man. Hey, work smarter, not harder, man. Like, I'm telling you, like, the majority of stuff I send out for sync, I mean, we're in between a minute and a half to 2.5 minutes. Would you say sync licensing as a music producer is more of a long-term game financially in terms of income? Like, if I wanted to make some money soon with music and I have beats and loops, you choose sync? No, you do. If you want to make money quick, you don't choose sync for super quick money. Man, I've had people reach out like, yo, and it was super specific, so I think they were in a bind. But it's like, yo, I need to come up on some bread real quick. You know, like, can I learn this and, you know, get paid like in the next couple weeks? I was like, this ain't it. You better go Uber or something, because you ain't about to get money fast in sync. Now, once you get like established, you get some deals and you're working with publishers and you develop relationships, yes, things can move fast, but you got to think about the years. Like, for example, I think one of the fastest placements I had was, you know, from submission to placement was maybe a couple days, a few days. Like, submitted early in the week, by Saturday, Sunday, it was placed. It doesn't happen often, but that has happened. But you also have to take into account the number of years I spent like learning about sync, and then trying to get into sync, and then actually working in sync. You know, my first placement was that 2012, 13 maybe. That was my first placement, and it took what, 9-10 years to be able to get a sync that happened in a week. So, you know, it's definitely absolutely a long play. Like, this is something you do, like, if you're trying to build, you know, residual income and a catalog of music that can earn you royalties over and over and over again. Now, once you're in, you get started, you get relationships. Yes, there's opportunities where, you know, you pitch the music, you get an upfront sync fee, and they're usually pretty timely at paying you your stuff. So, you know, from a movie placement, I think, you know, they cut the check within 30 days or so. And then that, you know, that was it, the upfront check. And then, you know, obviously you got your back end that you have to wait 6 to 9 months for, you know, depending on when they turn in cue sheets. So it is not something that's just like, yo, let me get a quick couple bands. So, do not like just jump out there and start quitting jobs and just be like, I'm gonna pursue sync full time, because you gonna be calling that job back and be like, hey, I think I jumped too soon. But you can absolutely make a living. I make a living doing sync. This is what I do full time. So You know, you have to really get through that beginning stage of just not like, because you don't see anything. Like, you're putting in years of work, and because of that delay from placement to royalties, and sometimes you're just sending a bunch of tracks and you're just like, yo, I don't even know if this is working or not. Like, you don't know it's working until you get your first royalty check sometimes. Or your first sync check, and it's just like, you got to put in so much work to get to that point. Most people quit before they get to that point, and then they get the check and they're like, oh shoot, like I shouldn't have stopped. Well, you just wasted time now. So that's what I'd say. If Clint swats a B, he'd have created another Sting ending. Facts. If there's a B in this joint though, I ain't trying to swat that. I'm not gonna use my hands unless it was trying to get my baby boy or something. And I usually gotta do what you gotta do to protect the fam. But when I listen to commercials and movie music, I've noticed the simplicity of it and not so much full blown beats. Yeah. And again, I mean, that could depend on the use as well. Like, you'll hear some stuff there's room, there's space, or you can hear some stuff, with trailers and commercials where there may not be a lot of dialogue in the commercial, right? So the instrumental is just driving it. So you could hear some super busy music, where it's just like there's no space. So yeah. They was watching Air 2. Yeah, it's crazy. 40 years later, man. You gotta watch it. Yeah, it was pretty good. Music selection was on point, Patty. Like, I agree 100%. Yep. Soul Bossa Nova. That's Quincy's joint. That was the theme for Austin Powers movies. Michael Connor says your sync legacy can be generational. I'm trying to tell y'all, man. Like, I am trying to tell you. So yeah, shout out to Samaya. I hope you brought popcorn for everybody, because we all hungry in this joint. You just can't be in the stream eating popcorn, eating emoji popcorn and not sharing it. What is the difference of pros and cons between getting with the music library as opposed to a label that does sync? I don't know, man. I think I don't know. It depends on how that label's structured. If the label's like priority is like more so traditional, where it's just like they focus on the record and the artist and pushing that first, and then sync is just kind of this extra thing, I would, if your main focus is on sync, I would prefer to go to the music library or like Sync Agent or something along those lines, opposed to a label. If their primary focus is on like, just representing artists and stuff like that. But there are some labels where they have, a lot of labels have sync division. Major labels have sync departments where like they just, that's what they focus on. So it really depends though. Let me see. I got time for a couple more questions. Do you ever make two versions of your tracks, one for sync and one traditionally formatted for streaming services? Not really. Because if I make it for sync and I'm allowed to like put it up on sync or streaming services, I'll just put it up as it is. Yeah, I'll just put it up as it is. I won't make like, especially with the sync stuff. I don't need a bridge. If I want to throw it on Spotify and make 0.0072 cents per stream, I think it's less than that, honestly. There's way more zeros, but for me to like put the extra work in like creating a bridge or like doing extra stuff. Like I'm not gonna do it because I won't. It will just be a waste of my time at that point. So if I do that, I'll just upload it as is, just like I made it for sync, just for people to listen to. Clint Sinkwood. That's hilarious. Y'all crazy. What loves are you trying to hit on your masters? Usually, I don't know. I'm usually like between, I don't know, like around -12 to -14-ish. Just trying to make sure that joint don't sound distorted, but as loud as possible. Somebody said that's all the popcorn she has. So that's it. So we're no popcorn for us. Yeah, man, can't fight that formula. Okay, this is Samaya's first time, so we'll give her a break. If we see her in the stream again, she just gotta have multiple bags of popcorn with it. And they will remember, Samaya. So don't you ain't gonna slip by with the popcorn. So all right, y'all. So it's almost 9:30. We're about to transition into the live music reviews. Last week was crazy. Like everything we played was it was crazy, man. A lot of talent. So I'm about to end this joint because this is the podcast. Stick around on the YouTube channel, and then I'm gonna go live. I may go grab a snack or something because I'm low key hungry. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go live, and then we're gonna listen to some music. So stick around. Shout out to everybody, man, that came through. I appreciate y'all. This is always good, always great conversation. Hopefully I shared something that helped you. Also, if you want a free video tutorial on how to get started in sync, especially as a producer, just go to clintproductions.com/link in bio, and you will see a free video tutorial where you can, it's not even long. Like, I mean, you can literally just sit like before you fall asleep and watch it, the whole thing. It's not long at all. But that'll give you an overview of what it takes to get started. And it's not as complicated as people think. Like, most people think this is like this mysterious thing that no one can crack the code to. And while it's not necessarily easy to break into, the process is simple. So I break down the process in that free video. So make sure you grab that. Let it help you. And yeah, I'll catch y'all on the next stream. Peace.